In the last video, I explained the covalent bond has some partial ionic character. In this video, I am going to present the ionic bond also have some partial covalent character. With the help of one rule, we can explain the same, that it is Paget's rule. There is mainly three postulates included this Paget's rule. Each one we can see now. First one, smaller the size of the cation. Cation size is small and larger the size of the anion, greater is the covalent character of an ionic bond. This is just representation of an ionic bond. That means due to the transference of electrons or by the loss or gain of electrons, the charges it's developed, or in the case of an ionic bond. So in this type of an ionic bond, we are going to be see that there is some partial covalent character also. How it is possible? Covalent character means you know that due to the sharing of pair of electrons, the bonds are very close to each other. That it is said to be the covalent bond. So how can we explain the ionic bond has some partial covalent character? That with the help of first rule we can explain. So what's that rule? Smaller the size of the cation and larger the size of the anion, the ionic bond has some partial covalent character. How can we explain? Just imagine any cation. Any cation means A. One cation I took here. Then just imagine this is the small size of a cation. And just imagine B is the anion. It is having larger size. So this is the nucleus and these are the electron present in the orbits. So what happens is that this is a cation, means you know that there is a loss of electrons happen and it is having the shortage of electrons, right? And it is having the positive charge also. And this is anion, it is having more number of electrons, you know it already. So what happens is that the cation polarizes this anion. What is the meaning of that? That means this cation, because of the shortage of electrons, they take the electronic charge. They pulling the electronic charge of this anion towards itself. Yes. So when this electronic charge, when it is goes near to the cation, what happens? Automatically one bond it is created. Automatically the closeness of this anion and cation it is created. So what happens is that they increases the electronic charge between these two. So what happens? A and B very close to each other, and we can say that it is having some partial covalent bond formation happen, not completely the covalent bond formation. That is why we are saying that the smaller the size of the cation and larger the size of an anion, greater will be the covalent character of an ionic bond. Second postulate we can check it now, that is greater the charge of the cation, greater is the covalent character of an ionic bond. How can we explain the same? It's very easy thing. So when the charge, if it is increases for the cation, so just imagine this is the cation, charge increases means what happens? That means loss of electrons it is more. Yes. So what happens? There is a shortage of electrons more in the case of this cation. So always prefer to get more number of electrons from others because it loses some electrons. So what happens is that because of this shortage of electrons or loss of electrons, that's why it is developed the greater charge. So what happens? It automatically creates the pulling of electrons from the anion. If the anion size is more or less, that's not a matter. It will be pulling the electronic charge from this anion to cation, because the cation it is having the greater charge because it loses lot of number of electrons from this. So that's why automatically they created the pulling and creates the connection between this anion and cation. Right? That's why we are saying that in this case, when the cation, when their charge is greater, that situation also it will be developing greater covalent character of an ionic bond. Third postulate, it is little confusing postulate, but it is a simple thing. For the cations of the same size and charge, so when you select the cations, you have to take two types of cations. One it is taken from the alkali and alkaline earth metals, and another you take from the transition metals. So when you select the cations, you have to think that the cations having the same charge and same size. Such a cations you have to be take. So from transition metals you take one cation, alkali and alkaline earth metals, from that you take the another cation. So here alkali and alkaline earth metals, so that is cation means almost it is having the noble gas configuration after the losing of electrons. When you compare these two types of cations, one from the transition metal and another from the alkaline and alkaline earth metals, and when we taken the cations, we taken the same size and same charge cations. So if it is one charge, you have to be take the same charge cation from this side. If it is having the size, how much the size it has, the same size cation also have to be select from these cations. Okay. So when you check about that, you can see that the transition metals, it is having more polarizing power than that of the alkali and alkaline earth metals. This transition metals having more polarizing power. Thus, we can conclude that the polarizing power of the cation, polarizability of the anion, and extent of distortion. Extent of distortion, what it is, that I will explain now. These are the three factors that is determining the percentage of the covalent character in an ionic bond. So what is the polarizing power of the cation? That means in this example, in first and second cases, I explained that the cation which is pulling the electronic charge from this anion towards itself and developing the covalent bond between them, or electronic charge density increases between these two. Yes, so what happens? What's the role doing here? The cation polarizing power. They develops the polarizing power. They develops the polarizing power towards this anion. So cation's role, it is the polarizing power of the cation. And what happens to this case of anion? Anion, due to its polarizability, it will be going towards this anion. Going towards its cation. And what happens at that time, when the anion, when it is going to the here, automatically its shape, it is getting distorted. Yes, it's a shape, it is getting distorted. That means the because when it is going near to the cation, it want to be go there. No? So the distorted its a shape. Right? So the positive charge, due to the positive charge, negative charge, it is getting distorted its a shape. That is said to be the extent of distortion or polarization. These are the three factors: polarizing power of the cation and polarizability of anion and the extent of distortion or polarization. That are the three factors which determine the degree or percentage of covalent character in an ionic bond. So Fajans rule, when you are writing, it's a very important rule. You have to be right about 3 points. That 3 points, it is the important one if it is a 3-mark question. First point, it is the smaller size of the cation and larger size of the anion, greater is the covalent character. Rest all things I said for the understanding easiness and as a base of explanation. Okay. The next thing, the greater the charge on the anion and greater the covalent character, that will be increases the covalent character of an ionic bond. And next one, the cations of the same charge and same size, when you take on the transition metals, it is having the more polarizing power than the alkaline and alkaline earth metals. Okay, then you just write the 3 important factors: polarizing power of the cation and polarizability of the anion and the extent of distortion of the anion are the factors which determining the percentage of covalent character in an ionic bond. And what happens really, though, that also you just understand it. Due to that, the positive and negative charges in the case of the cation and anion, the pulling, that I explained, that also you just think about that. Okay, thank you.